Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy, teaching people just like you how to trade and invest in the financial markets. If you're looking for short-term income strategies, say on top of your job or during retirement, Online Trading Academy has the strategies that they can introduce to you. But also if you have wealth needs, 401k needs, IRA needs, there's strategies to profit in down markets. We're going to introduce you to that, but also strategies to protect what you have for retirement. And we have these investing classes that people have been texting into. Congratulations to all those people that have been texting in, taking action with their financial future. So if you missed that, you can text right now for 2 tickets for a free class that Al and I both teach. And these are classes where we've taught thousands, just like you, several strategies which are designed to teach you to make smarter and better trading and investing decisions. Text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's text investing to the number 210-210 for 2 tickets for this class at our local academies. So, Al, in that last segment, we talked about those income strategies during retirement, but also wealth strategies for people that have 401ks and IRAs, protecting them, but having the opportunity to grow them in the financial markets, but grow them for their future. Mm-hmm. And most people think there's just a buy and hope strategy. That was not a misspoke there. It was a buy and hold strategy. Right. And they just never really succeed or get to those financial goals and they really don't know why. I was actually at a wedding this past weekend, and you're always talking with people at the reception and stuff, and once they find out what you do, they kind of ask you all these different questions about the stock market. And one I kept getting was, where is the bottom of the stock market? When can we start buying again? Because it's, quite frankly, this is probably going to be the biggest wealth opportunity that we'll ever see probably in our lifetime, Al.
Correct.
So they keep asking me, where is the bottom of this market? And you know what? It doesn't matter because no one is going to pick the bottom. If you keep trying to pick bottoms, you're going to end up with stinky fingers. So what are some of the things that you help people with in the financial markets? Not to just find where the bottom of the market is, but have a strategy that's designed to get either near that and do that with consistency and confidence.
Yeah, somebody might pick the bottom of the market, but that's total luck if they do that.
Exactly.
And listen, remember this, the bottom of the market lasts for one day, and then the market starts a trend. If it reverses and starts going up again, that bull market's going to last for years. So don't worry about picking the exact bottom, but don't be over anxious about getting in because you may end up losing more money. There's a way of identifying with a high degree of accuracy where turning points take place. That's what our core strategy does. That's what we talk to you about in these free classes and in that 3-day class. Make us prove to you that the strategy works. Let us show you how it works, how it functions, but don't worry about finding the exact bottom. But unfortunately for a lot of people, they're using their opinions. They're trying to forecast it. And those are the people that end up probably losing the most money. So successful traders have a strategy that they use that helps them to confirm a turning point in price, which is with the beginning of a trend. That's what you want to be able to identify. And by doing that, you'll also, using a strategy that does that, you'll also be able to identify with a high degree of accuracy the turning point, the end of a trend. So, and the distance in between where it starts and where it ends, that's your profit. There has to be enough of a profit there worth taking that particular a trade. But, as Josh mentioned, there will be a point in time in which this market stops going down. But all of the indicators right now are pointing to more downturn, more downside. Jamie Dimon just the other day came out and said there could be another 20% drawdown in the markets here. Michael Wilson from J.P. Morgan or Morgan Stanley said he sees maybe another 10% or more. If you look at the Fed presidents, the Minneapolis Fed president said, we have more work to do until I see some evidence, this is a quote, until I see some evidence that underlying inflation has solidly peaked and is hopefully headed back down, I'm not ready to declare a pause. I think we're quite away from a pause. The Atlanta Fed, despite glimmers of hope from recent data, the overarching message I'm drawing is that we are still decidedly in the inflationary woods, not out of them. Governor Bostic said he wants to see the Fed funds rate at 4.5% by the end of the year. Right now, we're at 3 to 3.25. That means we're nowhere near a slowdown. And then the San Francisco Fed, a lot of people have said by the year 2023, we'll start cutting interest rates. She said, I don't see that happening at all. So I don't say this to scare you, but just to let you know that there's a way to be prepared to take advantage of this. While the market is moving in one direction, you have to honor what the market is doing. You don't fight a trend. So learn how to take advantage of this trend, but then be prepared when the market turns, because I think the further down the market goes, probably it's sort of like a spring that compresses. The more you compress the spring, when you let it go, it pops up. That's what's going to happen to the market at some point in time, but you can't sit around and wait. If you wait, you're going to let a lot of opportunities go by. Maybe it's this year, maybe it's next year, maybe it's the year after. But being prepared is the important thing.
I'm glad you brought that up, Al, because I've talked with a lot of family that just recently as well, and they keep saying, "Well, I'm just gonna wait, and when the market bottoms out, I'm gonna get back in, or buy more again, or buy whatever that strategy that they think they want to do." And we kind of talk about this. Okay, well, where's the bottom? Well, when it turns around. Well, how do you know? And that's why it's important to have a strategy that's designed to follow that. And it's that supply and demand strategy that Online Trading Academy has. Talk about what that is.
Yeah, well, let me just comment on what you just said, because a lot of people, if you think you have found the bottom, a lot of people, and I've heard people for the last 3 or 4 months say, yeah, we're at the bottom, this is the bottom. And those are people that do this professionally. They don't even know where the bottom is. So, again, don't be so focused on trying to find the exact bottom, because you probably will not. And too many people have been burnt by thinking they found a bottom and then watching the stock or the market just drop significantly through what they thought.
In about a minute, Al, talk about that supply and demand strategy.
Yeah, the supply and demand strategy is just using a basic law of finance. It's the relationship between supply and demand. When there's more demand for something, price goes up. When there's more supply, it goes down. Our core strategy is built around that strategy, where if there are more buyers than sellers, price is going to go up. More sellers than buyers, price will go down. That's where the turning points take place. But it has to happen with enough clout, in other words, enough money, enough volume, enough shares of something to cause a big move up and a big move down. Not little blips that are caused maybe by some retail traders, because the people that are moving the market, the people that have money to move it, they spend billions of dollars a year on research and data and sophisticated equipment. Let them do all the work. They're going to determine whether there's value in something. And when they determine that there's value, that's when they come in and they start buying. They're going to determine when something is overvalued. That's when they're going to start selling. So if you could identify where they're being active, where they're going to be buying, where they're going to be selling, wouldn't that be helpful to you to be able to, to just follow what they're doing? Be positioned with them. That's how we use the supply and demand in the markets, buyers and sellers, because these big players are telegraphing to us on a price chart where they're doing that. So the important thing is knowing how to read a price chart to identify that, and it's not as easy as it sounds, because there's a lot of, say, false starts, for example, false finishes. So you have to be able to identify a high-quality area where you have the highest probability of it working in your favor, with the lowest risk and the highest profit potential.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about these different strategies, and in just one more analogy of trying to catch the bottom of the market. No one's going to do it. It's like trying to catch a falling knife. Why would you try? Because it's not going to happen. Have a strategy like supply and demand, which is our core strategy on the Online Trading Academy, to have the opportunity to see where the banks are buying and selling, put low risk, high reward, high probability entry points in the market, and then put low risk. That way you don't have to be right every single time, and bring that consistent strategy in both directions. As it's going down, strategies to profit as it's going down, but also strategies to profit as it starts to go back up again. In the market, it's not like a trampoline where it's gonna fall and just trampoline straight back up. It's gonna go as a cushion, and like someone jumping from a parachute down into a big air-filled cushion. They're going to go in, and it might slow them down, and then eventually it's going to pop them back up slowly, and then it's going to be a slow pop, and then a slow pop back down, a slow pop back up. So it's not going to go straight back up. That's what the Online Trading Academy, their strategy is designed to do, is how to find that, how to identify that with a high degree of accuracy, and then just putting the proper capital management, and that helps you build confidence to be able to do that. We have these free investing classes that obviously everybody knows about. We also have these 3-day classes if you want to deep dive. So if you're the person that knows that you want to get into trading and investing, and you want to jump right into this 3-day deep dive, you can call 888-682-6466 for 2 tickets for this class. It's normally $200. It's only $99 for you radio listeners right now. Call 888-682-6466. Mention you want the 3-day deep dive when you call in. We'll answer and make sure we find the 3 days that work for you. Al, hit them up with the old OTA tip of the week.
Well, Josh, we see way too many people that have relied on hope and luck for their financial life. And hope and reliance on luck are not strategies. And waiting for the right time, that pretty much assures your failure. Unless, of course, you've figured out how to control every potential life influence, then the right time, maybe you can identify that. But for most people, that almost never happens. You might not ever have a right time, but there's a right now time, a today time, which could be the best time for you. So waiting just means missing out on repeated opportunities that are gone forever. And, maybe the chance that you're looking for to make a change in your life, maybe that starts with this 2-hour class.
Yeah, the old definition of poor is passing over opportunities regularly. Take advantage of these opportunities and do that today. Let's do the free investing class. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 free tickets. As always, same time, same place next week. Until then, retire young, my friends.